Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. If it's your first time here and you don't know me already, my name is Taylor, and today we are going to be talking about genetic testing. Before I get started on today's topic, I want to show you guys my new crop top sweatshirt. Ooh girl, it's so cute. It's a little crop top hoodie. It has these cute little drawstrings. And it says Cali at the bottom. Super cute. It has a hood too, but I can't really see it. I can't really see what I'm doing either. But it's super cute, and this color, like, come on girl. It doesn't get much better than that. If you are interested in any of these things, my boyfriend's mom is all that in a bag of chips. She can make hoodies, socks, blankets, leggings, sweatshirts, headbands probably, cups, literally anything your little heart can imagine and desire, she can make you. So, if you're interested in that, please let me know. I'll also link her Facebook page in the description so you can check her out because she's pretty good. Before I jump right into this topic, I kind of want to give you guys a background on my mental health. So if you could care less about this part and just want to listen to the genetic testing part of the video, rude. I'll leave a timestamp in the description and you can just scroll through the video and then find when I start talking about the main point so that you don't have to hear me ramble on. I first started struggling with depression and anxiety about a year ago, and I actually started having issues with it the same time that I had my first ever panic attack. Ever since then, I've just struggled, and there was a point in my life where like suicide was an option. And I have been on several different medications. Some medications have done nothing for me, so I didn't feel better, but I didn't feel worse. I just felt the same. And then I've had medications that have made me terrible, like worse than I could ever imagine. There was probably about a 3-month span where I went without any medication. I just went kind of cold turkey on it because I was tired of either not feeling how I wanted to feel or feeling worse, and it just was making everything worse, in all honesty. I noticed after, the months I wasn't taking anything, it was just getting unbearable. I went to a doctor that I'd never seen before and just been like, I need something now. I can't take it anymore. Help a sister out. So he put me on something. It was one of those medications where it didn't really do anything for me. I got tired of seeing doctors who wouldn't really listen to me, who would just prescribe me things without, really asking for my input. I wanted to see someone who could prescribe me things and I could talk to if I needed to. And so I started Googling in Kansas City, like where I could find a psychiatrist. And I found one, but when I called, the receptionist was like, she's very picky about who she sees, like I can't promise you that you'll get in. She ended up calling me back and saying that she would accept me. So this is whenever my whole, This is whenever my whole experience with genetic testing starts. It's been probably like 4 or 5 weeks since I had my first appointment with my psychiatrist. I went in, she gave me a mental health assessment, and if you haven't had one of those before or you're like, what the heck is that? Basically, it's just a long list of questions, and she goes through and asks you these questions. And they consist of how many times a day do you have anxiety? Do you feel worthless? Do you feel like you'd be better off dead? Just things about that kind of stuff to help her get a better sense of where your mental health actually stands. So after my mental health assessment was done, she asked me if I wanted to do genetic testing, and I was like, what the heck is that? In my mind, I was thinking like ancestry stuff, and I was like, why the heck do I need to know about that? I'm here to see you about my mind because I'm losing it, She explained to me that genetic testing was where she could look inside my brain basically and just see what's wrong with me, She could see my genes, she could see, what medications would work for me, what medications wouldn't work for me. And when she told me that, I was like, what the heck, why haven't I heard of this before? Yes, let's do it. So we decided that it's something that I wanted to do. She just grabbed a little kit from her office, swabbed the inside of my cheek, and sent the results off, and I was sent home. My appointment probably lasted 30 minutes total. Whoever you're seeing, basically sends off your cheek cells to. My psychiatrist used a company called Genomind. Basically, Genomind creates a report for me and sends it back to my psychiatrist after 2 weeks, and then I come back for another appointment and we go over the results together. I just had my follow-up appointment probably like a week and a half ago. When I got there, she had my paperwork all ready to go, and we just started from the top and then went down each page. And I'll show you guys my report and what it looks like so you can get a better idea of what yours might look like if you decide that you want to do it. This is what the report looks like. I was writing all over it as she was talking because she was talking so fast, and half the time I was like, I have no idea what you're saying. So here I am, like, my paper is catching on fire because I'm writing so fast. This is what the first page looks like, and it basically just tells you stuff that you don't need to know. It's just like birth, date of birth. The second page looks something like this, and obviously I think if you get it from Genomind, I'm sure that that's what your report will look like, but honestly I don't know, I'm not a professional. So we just started at this first little section right here. I don't know if this is blurry or not, but whatever. Basically the first gene that's on my list, she said you have 2 of those genes, so that's probably where most of your anxiety is coming from. Me having this gene tells her that I'm more likely to have PTSD. I react differently to high stress situations than most people would, which makes sense because my anxiety is pretty much through the roof. I have 2 G's for these genes, I guess. I have 2-letter G's, and so she called it the sweet gene. And so people that have 2 G's in this cell or this gene are often very sweet, but they tend to take on more than they can handle. They can get it done, but it stresses them out, and that's where a lot of the anxiety comes into play. There's only 10% of people in the whole world that are able to take SSRIs, and SSRIs are the most prescribed form of antidepressants that doctors will prescribe to people. If I would have known that I wasn't able to take SSRIs, it would have saved me so many problems. I took a SSRI called Lexapro. For some people it may work. I'm not saying that it's not going to work for everyone. Some people it probably works wonders for, but for me, this drug made my life, excuse my language, a living hell. There was a point when I was taking that where I called my parents and I was like, I can't do this anymore. And that was my breaking point. That was my lowest point. Next gene on my list and I only had 2 on this whole sheet that really pertained to me and that would cause me anxiety, and it is this one. I want to get out of the frame. I can't see. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's called the alpha-2A adrenergic receptor. I don't know. Anyway, you can have a C gene or you can have a G gene, and I have the G. People that have this gene often are people who can tell immediately if your mood has changed. So, for instance, if I know someone or I'm friends with someone and they walk into the room and maybe they had a bad day or maybe their mood's just a little bit off, I immediately can sense that. I do this on a day-to-day basis. My psychiatrist was telling me this, and she was like, yeah, like you soak up energy in the room. Like when people walk in, you can read people's energies, you know. If someone's having an off day, if someone's having a good day, like you absorb that like nobody's business. And it was so crazy to hear that because I find myself in those situations all the time. So sorry if I'm looking down, but I'm trying to like read this and describe it to you guys. So the next page, I think was antipsychotic meds, and my psychiatrist told me, okay guys, I'm not psychotic, so I don't have to worry about this page. And then the next page is mood disorders, and I don't have a mood disorder. What's cool about this is you can see if you have, you know, a mood disorder. So bipolar, if you have the gene for schizophrenia, you can see that. The next page is all of the drugs, all of the antidepressants that I can and cannot take. And what is super, super cool about this part is that it shows you, so this is like backwards and odd, so I'm really sorry, but like everything on this side, I have 6 antidepressants at the top of my list that say increased risks for adverse events and poor response. And Guess what antidepressant is second on that list? Lexapro. So it explains why your girl was acting a fool, because Lexapro literally made me crazy. If it has a check mark over here, that means don't take that drug, girl. Or boy, you're gonna be messed up. Everything in this column, this little middle column, I can take it. There shouldn't be any negative side effects that I have to worry about. And I'm actually on, she prescribed to me desvenlafaxine, which I was on Effexor whenever I went and saw her, but it wasn't really doing much. So she prescribed me this one, which is very similar to it. It's just more controlled, potent form, I guess. And so she said I might have a better reaction to it. But yeah, that's literally every medication that you could ever want is on this paper. Antidepressant wise, right here. Tells you,
yes, take that medicine, it will save your life. This one won't.
it's a life changer. It doesn't stop there, my friends. It doesn't stop there. No, no, no. It also tells you what medications you can take. So like, say I go to the doctor and I have surgery, like when I had my lung surgery, and they wanted to give me some medicine to help me relax before my surgery. This paper will tell me if it will work or not. It has medicine like ibuprofen, Motrin, like those type of medicines are on that paper and tells you whether or not you can take them or not. That was my experience for my second appointment where she went over everything. Do I recommend this to other people? Yes and no. So for me, when I went in the first time, she told me this is gonna change your life. I'm gonna help you get so much better. You're gonna feel like a new woman. We're gonna make you feel like you've never felt before. So I was like,
oh, hallelujah.
I'm finally gonna feel fine. Like I'm gonna feel my normal self again. So I was so excited. She basically told me she was gonna change my life. My expectation bar was like up here, like insane. But when I went in for my second appointment where she went over everything, that's when I was kind of let down because only 2 genes on my chart were causing me problems for the most part. And so I thought that the sheet was gonna tell her like, she does not feel good, like we need to get this girl on something. But it didn't. It just showed her, oh, there's a couple things that might be causing it, so here's what we can do. And it also bummed me out because I was already on a medicine that she really liked and that was supposed to work for me but wasn't. So that was kind of a letdown. That being said, I'm really glad that I did it. I wouldn't go back and redo anything. I'm glad that I took the steps I needed to take to get this far. I think that this would have been good to have at the beginning of my mental health journey. Even though I'm a little bummed about the results that I got, I wasn't hoping that I was going to be messed up in the head. I was just hoping that it would show more of what I thought was going on in there. I thought it would show more reasons as to why I was feeling so cruddy all the time. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about my mind and how I work. It's only been a week or so, or like a week and a half or so, that I've been on this new med, and so it's really too early for me to tell if anything is getting better. So I have to be patient, and that's what I struggle with, is being patient. If you have mental health issues, even if you just want to see like your mental health in general, like say you don't have any problems but your family has history of mental health problems, or maybe they don't have any history at all with that stuff but you just want to know, I think it's really important to do, and I think it's actually really cool. So I do recommend that you do it. The only thing is, 2 things, friends. 1, it can be very, very expensive. It can be like $3,000. I know, it's crazy. But before you freak out and say,
Girl, I ain't got a sugar daddy, I ain't rich.
me neither. So guess what? If you have your tax return from last year and you didn't make a buttload of money, guess what? When your insurance bills you and says,
We ain't paying for this crap. Go pay for it yourself. Go work the corner. Go work the pole. Do what you gotta do.
you can say,
No thank you.
hand them your last yearly statement or whatever that says how much you made, and you can pay as little as $25, even less. So if you're thinking about doing it, do it now. Do it while you're young. Do it while you're broke, honestly, because you won't have to pay out the butt to do this stuff. The second thing about this is that it's hard to find someone who will do genetic testing for you. When I saw my psychiatrist, whenever she did the whole genetic testing, she didn't get paid for it. It's hard to find someone who is actually going to do that and not get paid for it. My psychiatrist believes in it 110%. She's all gung-ho for it. That's gonna be the tricky part, is finding someone who will do it for you. But Honestly, even if it means you have to drive 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, I would do it. Honestly, I really would. It will help you in the long run. I really believe that. If you're interested in any of this stuff, whether it be genetic testing, whether it be what prescriptions I've used in the past or what I'm using now, you can message me on Facebook, you can DM me on Twitter or message me on Instagram. I'm open to discuss the nitty-gritty with you guys. I hope that me doing these new experiences and going through hell and back can help you guys avoid some of the stuff that I had to go through. That is all for today's video. It felt so good talking about that because I have been trying to film this video for forever. I'm just so glad that I got it out there and that I can maybe start seeing other people do it, because I think it's going to change some lives 100%. Thanks everyone for watching. If you are not subscribed already, please do, because you do not want to miss any cringy moments with me, because I'm sure I'm going to have plenty. I hope everyone has a super awesome day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!